Oh shoot, I threw some pins in there. Okay, where are they? Lousy, good for nothing piece of peace. Roaming reporter Ray Cotolo here. No, not Roman reporter. Roaming. I am traveling the world to get down to the truth and to the gritty nitty. So come with me, shall you? And join me on a splendiferous journey around the globe to figure out what the hell am I talking about? Come on! Alright, I am live deep within the Amazonian jungle. Not the Bezos one, people. And I'm joined here with Tim Tetrick. That's something I remember about you, because of course you and I are both good friends with Rod. One thing that he told me, like young Timmy, going back to when he was Timmy and now he's Tim.
Oh, back in Maywood, the Maywood days. Yeah, back in the Maywood days. Yep.
Back with little Timmy. So sometimes little Timmy had a really hard time moving on, but you can definitely tell that maturity has come over years and years.
Oh, I'm not over yet. I'm not over yet. No. I still take it home and I still suffer with it. I'm better at it than I used to be. But, you know, it's still hard. My wife would say all the time, would you just give it up, turn the page and, you know, get over it. But you know what? I'm one of those people that wears, I wear everything on my sleeves, you know, and that's me. And I haven't got over it yet and probably never will. But, you know, it's just me.
I would suggest having longer sleeves then. You're wearing, what, a short sleeve right now?
Right.
That actually brings me to the first point I want to talk to. How hard... Did you have to replace your helmet after the Doherty Haughton, after just tossing it against the wall, when Major Occasion got right by you? Did you see her coming? Or was Shartin kind of laboring in those final strides, and then Major Occasion just got the better trip on her?
Well, right now with COVID, I know you were in the paddock, so how did you know that I hit my helmet against the wall?
Well, I know how much that mare means to you. I could ask you right now, what in your house has she bought for you?
Yeah, she's a great mare, and like I know in my heart, like she raced her eyeballs out, and I know if she'd have raced at Chester that 10 days before, she would have been tight, and it wouldn't have been a conversation. Did she see that mare coming? I don't think so, because every time she's got one right at her throat, she fights them off like a bear in Colorado right now. But she's a special animal, and for me to get to drive her, part owner, you know, it means the world. So like I'm so excited, and you know, she's never gone a bad race. And you got to give her major props and respect what she's done on the racetrack. And probably the time she's got beat, it's my fault, you know. So, but she's an amazing animal.
You're certainly a man of the wilderness too, knowing that it's mating season for those bears in the Colorado. They do get frisky this time of year.
They do, yeah.
What I've always found interesting too, and I've only picked up on it maybe like last year, is, you know, sometimes a driver's got to really call on the horse, show him the whip, give him a couple taps and stuff. It's nothing against the horse. Some people think it's against the horse, but it's just to get them going. But you as Shartin, you never raise the whip with her. You're always hand driving her, and I find that so interesting. Why is it that you do that?
No, for her, like I've tried to whip her. And if I have to pull the whip out on her, the race is over anyway. You know, so why do it? You know, and she doesn't go any faster with it, and she gives me everything she has. And you know, for her, like if I can just flip it up and show it to her my white whip, she loves it. You know, like if I have to go to the whip, the race is over anyway. So, because she gives me everything she's got.
That definitely seems like it's been kind of a trend too. A lot of drivers have not been using the whip as much as they have in years. And of course, I mean, the rules have kind of become more strict about it, but it's almost kind of like there is that trend where that's actually becoming a more optimal way to drive. And maybe you could say it is, or maybe it's just up to the horse.
Well, I think the whip is very useful in the right way. And if you watch Brian Sears come down the lane, he makes it very technical, and he makes it look really good. It don't hurt the horse, but like if you can take both lines in one hand and be able to chase them because you still have the bits in their mouth. And I think that's so important. Nowadays, it's most tracks besides Jersey, New York, we have where you can still one hand. But in PA and Canada, like when you take that whip and you try to push on them, the lines go loose. So the bits lose their mouth, and the horse doesn't respond as well. I would rather be way back, lean back, grab both lines in one hand, and just be able to go, just chase him. I don't want to hit him, but I want to be able to chase him.
I hope everyone else is taking notes that's watching this. With Shartin, though, then coming into the Lady Liberty, I imagine she is a lot tighter, especially after that mile at Plain Ridge. What is the game plan for you with her? Because she's so push button. Is that a time where you can really just kind of turn your brain off? At least now, because she has these couple starts under her belt.
Like you say that like it's audible, but it's not with her because like you have to make a plan. Once you start it up, once you get her motor running, you ain't changing it. There's no audibles. I can't be Peyton Manning and say, I'm going to call an audible here after I started to leave and like I'm going to change my mind. You kind of have to have a plan with her and make sure you're ready for it because once you put her in gear, it's over. She's going. She's going to go try to eat somebody.
And it seems like even when you do that, like she doesn't tire either. So then why not just turn her on all the time? Just keep her running.
Oh, because I love her so much and I don't want to hurt her. Like I want to see her race for the next 3 years. And I know that sounds selfish, but honestly, like I know she can't go 4 quarters as fast as I want her to go. But if I can protect her for a couple quarters, she will wear down so many good horses. She will wear them down.
That's kind of weird that you say that you feel selfish, but it's like we race horses till 14. It's as long as she can go, she can go.
Well, not at that speed. There's only so many times you can go to a well. When you go to the well, you're going to hurt them. And when you do, they remember it. They remember when they get beat. These horses are smart and they're so professional and they know when they get beat. She was mad when she got beat at the Meadowlands. In the race before, she was mad. And she told me when I drove her the next time, she goes, I ain't losing this race. When I went to Plain Ridge, she told me, I ain't losing this race. She was upset she got beat.
I won't get into like what specific language you speak with her, but I imagine
you can just feel it. Like
yeah.
I drive horses for whatever reason, but like you can feel her being mad. She was mad. She goes, I'm not ducking off the gate. I'm taking this in control, and I'm going to be the princess or queen that she is. It was pretty cool.
Definitely a good salesman on that mare. And now I feel bad about if I want to try and beat her. If I want to try and pick a better priced horse.
Good luck.
Well, let's talk a bit more about your other drives in the day. First thing in the Oaks, you got that filly for Jim Campbell, Next Level Stuff. Who you've been driving her since she was 2, right?
I didn't start out with her. Dave Miller started out with her, and she was making some mistakes, and then I got lucky to drive her, and she took off. She went 8, 9 in a row, and win the matron. So like she got enough talent. Now her brain level's not always high as it could be, but she's got enough talent to go fast.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I was talking to Jim earlier in the week, and he similarly talked about this Nimrod as he said that she kind of got away from you in that last race because she went 54-3 to the half. Were you really trying to reel her back in there? Or,
No, not really. I just kind of let her do her own thing.
Mm-hmm.
It was totally and I come off and I apologize, but she also needed to be stretched out too. In my mind, she'd never been on a big track. That was the first time. And I told Jim afterwards, I said, I know I went too fast, but it's probably the best thing for her because it's going to stretch her out. And, I think she'll trot 51. Now, whether that's enough, nobody knows.
Mm-hmm.
But, I think she's a horse that's very brave and she's very confident. And I think she'll do very good on Saturday.
Yeah, and I noticed it too in her lines that she was usually showing a lot of speed at 2, but you were able to kind of take her off the pace and kind of teach her how to follow horses, which seemed like that was kind of.
And I'll give kudos to Jim and his crew there, because he taught her. Last year, she couldn't do that. She didn't have any brain to be taken off the gate. It was her way or no way. That was it. Now, this year, the first 2 times, and even in the qualifiers, I took her off the car, and she did her job right, and then she always passed. So I was so pleasant and surprised with that, so hopefully that'll turn up Saturday and she'll give us a good effort.
And you drew post 2, if I remember correctly.
Yes. With 2 trailers.
Yes. So I kind of talked to JD Yoder about this a bit earlier. You have the speed. It seems like the best thing to do is try and push forward, but you also have that Burke horse tier inside. And at the same time, if you leave, that carries Sears into the race. So what are kind of like the preliminary things you're thinking about it from that spot? Because while you're close to the inside, the 2's not really that much better of a post in that way.
Not really. Like for me, as a handicapper, the 3 would have been the best. I could have kind of laid off and then followed Brian. That would have been the best scenario. Because I don't think my mare can do too much work, be parked 2 turns, and still try to win the race. So I got to find a way not to get locked in and still get a good shot at trying to have a shot to win the race. So it's going to be tricky. The first turn is going to mean a lot. Like when you have 12 horses and try to have to figure out everything going on in a mile, it's going to be tricky. I like my position way better than I did if it was Brian. Brian from the 12 hole, he's got his work cut out for him.
At the very least, it's a good thing you have a good arsenal of helmets to potentially replace the one after the Oaks if you get locked in.
Exactly.
But the Hambo, then. You've been driving for Melander for a little while now. You had the choice of 2. You chose Capricornus. What's wrong with the other horse, man?
Nothing's wrong with him.
Okay.
I just think I've been with Capricornus since that baby racing last year. I'm a believer in him. I like the horse. And I still think he's going to break loose. And I think it's a spot. If somebody gets silly and they go too fast, I'm there to pick up the pieces. And that's what I'm hoping for.
It seemed like in his first couple of starts at 3, he kind of... It seemed like he wasn't going as fast as he was possibly capable of in those final quarters, at least. But it seems like you've got him firing in these last 2 starts.
He's getting there. He's getting there. I'm very pleased with his last couple starts, and I wouldn't be surprised if I set 5th, 6th on the rail, and they go two big fractions, and I get lucky and he can just slingshot. I'm hoping for a slingshot move and. Make him be brave, and I can get there at the end.
Yeah, that seems kind of be that seems to be his trick. And plus 2, what I'm wondering is Andy's filly Ramona. I feel like you agree with me.
How amazing was she last week? That was amazing.
She was really good, and I was surprised by that effort because I don't know if you remember.
Not me. No, I remember watching her as a baby, and as a 2-year when she baby raced at 2, and she was a little sore, and I said that's the best one. She's a vicious girl, and she can throw things away and just go to work and get shit done.
Mm-hmm. That I remember. I don't know if you remember in the Del Miller because you were driving in the race, of course. In the final 16th, it looked like Andy was really trying to keep her together. Because she won a really big mile, so maybe she was a bit steppity, and then she kind of threw in a couple steps in that 25 and 4 last quarter, which what trotter would you expect it to?
Exactly. Yep. Exactly.
So it seems like really a lot of your decisions in that Hambo are probably going to have to revolve around what Andy does, right?
Of course. Me going into this race, I have to be realistic. If I get a 3rd, 4th, or 5th, I think that's a win. If somebody makes a mistake, maybe I can be 1st or 2nd. But I have to rely on other people making mistakes for me to win that race.
What if you make the mistake?
Oh, there he is.
There he is. Hey, what's up, Ron?
What's up, Timmy?
What if you
make... Yeah, trying to be. Busy, man.
Yeah.
But what if you make the mistake?
It could happen. I've done it more than once.
We all do.
Oh,
But,
yeah.
you know, I think there's something to be learned from you, particularly in a race like the Hambletonian or any of the big races, really. You just mentioned you're kind of hoping that somebody else makes a mistake. How do you avoid making that mistake in such a big event?
Well, you just got to be smart. You got to play the gate, and see what everybody else is doing. And trotters do make breaks. So hopefully, my horse is good and having a great day. It's like last year. I had horse for Jim Campbell that, he's just an average horse, but he ended up making $1 million. But I was second, I win the elimination, and then I was second or third in the final. You have to be in the right place, right time, and make everything work.
I totally agree with that.
Who won the Hambo last year? I totally forget.
Forbidden Trade.
Oh, right. Wait, who did you drive in that race then, Tim?
I had Green Man Lishi.
Right. I was thinking of Crystal Fashion because you said Jim Campbell.
That was the year before.
Yeah.
Year before.
Well, the other thing that happened too is he won a world record in that first elimination.
It was, yeah. Scotty went way too fast with his filly. I thought she would bounce, and he raced her in the final and got back to the lead, and she didn't bounce. Mm-hmm. I thought for sure she would bounce. She didn't.
That's all Hambo stuff. You're driving another big one though, in the Cashman. You got Guardian Angel, who, to me, even though he's won a bunch of races, it still seems kind of like he's an A-tier free-for-all trotter, but he almost kind of like is still kind of notches below. Because you got Chimpanzee in that race, you got Atlanta in that race. So, again, this is another spot where you have these two really classy horses, and you yourself have a fairly classy and versatile horse. What is your game plan there? Because it seems like Jingra's just gonna go. Chimpanzee.
So am I.
Yeah.
So am I.
Oh, okay.
He's got speed. He loves to race, and he's not going to pass too many. But he's such a talented trotter. It's time to go. I'm going to race him, and he's going to go fast.
How fast?
Going to go fast.
Give me an exact number, Tim. Come on, the people at home are wondering.
It wouldn't surprise me if he went to half 54, 3/4 121, and winning 49. The horse can do it, and he loves to go fast. He don't like to pass too many, but he loves to go fast.
Let's see. He's 5-1 on the morning line. I might have to take your word on that then, Tim.
He's a good horse. Not saying it's this week, but he can go. There's not too many trotters. There's not too many trotters who can go to Chester and win at 50 with the plugs in. And he did it last year like a rape date.
Mm-hmm.
When he's on his game, he can go as fast as anybody out there.
And really, you have to kind of play Atlanta to a certain extent, because if she just gets the front, you know what Yannick does. He tries to get it his own way, tries to slow the pace and kick away.
Well, of course he does, and that's what we all do. Like, he's a great driver. He knows exactly what he's doing, and he's great at it.
Yeah.
But like my horse, he loves to go fast. I'm going to try to make the race. I know he's coming off a little rehab. He only had one qualifier, and I don't think he's tip-top shape to do what I really want to do. But he's a good horse. He's definitely a player.
I won't ask.
Well, I guess it's a good thing that none of the other drivers are going to see this before the race, because you guys are all going to be on the track when we're playing this. So,
thank God.
But that's one good thing, and that's kind of why we do these things, is because we can get a little bit of information from guys like you that we're not going to get otherwise, and you're not going to give out on TV, on live TV, where everybody's watching it, because then it kind of changes your strategy, or it could change somebody else's strategy.
Right. You know just as much as I do. Things change 10 minutes before the post. I come down to drive your horse around at Maywood, and you're like, I think we could win, but he didn't have a very good day. He didn't eat his breakfast. Then you've got to change your whole outlook on it.
Yep.
It changes everything.
I think what Rod's saying is it's great for you to give out all this information on our show because nobody is watching. That's what he's trying to say. I want to touch on one more horse with you, Tim, and it's in, I think, one of the most interesting races all afternoon, the McKee Memorial. You got Backstreet Shadow, a horse you've driven before. He was with Burke, because when he was at Di Domenico, now he's with Burke.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
In that race, you're in against there's how many Burke horses are in there? You got like 3 Burke horses. You got Dancing Lou. You got American History. It's a really jam-packed group where I'm gonna be honest with you, Tim. Backstreet Shadow seems kind of like mid-tier. Don't hate me on this, but it seems like he's got to kind of really step up his game. And I'm curious how you see that race playing out, because it seems like it's anybody's.
For me, I totally disagree. I think the horse has been vicious. He's been great. Last week, 50 or 25, 52. You know, and I didn't pull. I should have pulled, but how do you pull like 120? You know, like it's, you know, the horse. I think he's good, and I think if I get the right trip and get loose on the lead somewhere somehow, which is very hard to do, but the horse is good. Like, it wouldn't surprise me if he jumps up and wins 47. You know. 2 weeks ago, I let Dancing Luke, or what's his name? What's your name? The one Brian drives. I let him go. He put me away third. I was loaded, and I know I choked my horse, and I finished fourth. But you know, the horse is good. Like he's ready to race, and if I get the right trip, especially if I get loose on the lead, they ain't catching me.
Yeah, I mean, he looks like he can scat home with anything in there. 26 kickers, you know, leaving and then getting shuffled. First over, kicking home in 26 miles and 48, 47. I mean, he looks pretty versatile, but he does look like when he makes the lead, he's extremely tough.
If I get loose on the lead, and if I can get a little breather somewhere, you know, like I think it's a good spot for him because he's going to land third or fourth, and, you know, then I'm going to be aggressive, you know, and I'm going to make Brian let me go this time and put him away third, you know, so it makes it a different race.
Exactly, Tim. Have some respect for yourself. Know your worth. You make Brian get behind you.
I'm going to make Brian get away third.
Yeah. That's what you got.
Yeah, just tell him this year is my Hall of Fame year.
Yeah, that we didn't have.
I actually do. I lied. I have 2 more. I want you to talk a bit about the 2-year-olds you're driving, because I mean, we only have so many races we can look at with those. You kind of give us more information about them. Firstly, I think the Doherty is first. Yes, you're driving Material Girl for Per Engblom. Has 1 win from 4 starts. I didn't catch the elimination, so I'm going cold read here, Tim. Tell me what you've learned about her, what you know about her.
I've actually learned a lot, you know, and I'm kind of figuring it out. She gets a little shaky early, and she wants to not make a break, but like she looks for excuses. And I really think this filly, if it wasn't for her racing 5 weeks in a row, I just think she's a little bit tired. But she's got tons of talent, and if they mix it up, she can't leave at all. She can't scatter her own shit leaving the gate, you know. But she's a nice filly, and she loves to pass horses late. So, you know, that's a big advantage when you have a 2-year-old that wants to pass horses. So, I think she'll be right there if she can just stay close.
And then you got another one for Melander in the Haughton. You're driving Moonstone. What do you know about him? What have you learned about him?
I think this is a big sleeper. I
Really?
mean, this is a big sleeper. He's got it all. He's got a great gait, great attitude, and he has not been tried yet. That's a horse that's a sleeper right there.
And you're racing in the afternoon, of course. So
It won't matter. He qualified in the afternoon and the mornings.
I was just saying, if he's a sleeper, you know, he better wake up. It's one thing if he's racing at night.
He'll be fun. I like that horse. That's a nice horse. I picked off another one of pairs there that I really like. They gave, I think, $450 for him. And this horse seems like he really likes his work, and I expect big things out of him.
Does that include Saturday, or you talking long?
No, he'll race Saturday. He'll be ready.
Okay.
Now,
You
obviously,
gotta read between the lines, guys. You gotta read between the lines.
I know how to read, Tim. Okay. I can read a book. I can read a letter.
Yeah, but that's not Timmy T book. There's a difference.
Oh, okay.
Rod knows.
Yep. Did you guys talk about Shartin yet?
Yeah, we had a long talk about Shartin. We learned about every one of Timmy's emotions he feels.
Rod says, he said that she's going to get beat this week.
I didn't say that.
Not you, Rod.
No,
I said we were talking about it, and he said he's going to bet against.
Tim, you have to understand. All right, your mare's going to be like what, 1-9, 1-10.
Nobody said Ray was smart.
Show her respect. How do you ever bet against Shartin? She's never gone a bad race in 20, 30 starts. How do you go?
Tim, why would I bet $20 to get $1 back?
Just don't bet the race and just root for her.
Oh!
There you go. That's what I
do. I never thought of it that way.
Just root for her. Give her her props, man. You're watching one of the best free-for-all mares ever in the history of harness racing.
Rod, can you see how...
My opinion is the best free-for-all mare of all time.
She's top three. She's top three.
In Florida, you and I talked about her a little bit.
Yeah.
About that mile on Hambletonian Day last year. You think she can repeat that tomorrow or on Saturday?
It's very close, yes.
You heard it here first.
Last year, she went
at this point, it might not be first, but
last year, what'd she go at Plainridge? 49-3, or what? 49-1.
Yeah.
And this year, she went 48-1.
It was also like 95 degrees. I'm pretty sure there were horses that were melted by the time you got back to the paddock.
Read the writing on the wall. The girl's good. She's ready.
Rod, can you see how butthurt Tim is about me just wanting to bet $2 on someone else?
Listen, I will not ever bet against Shartin. I think I bet against her one time last year, and it was because we were live, and I can't remember what day that was, Ray, but we were live there, and she didn't look right on the track.
I think it was the Breeders' Crown. I think
it was. And I knew she didn't look right. And that was the only time I've ever bet against her.
And she still finished second.
Yeah.
The time she's got beat, it's my fault or it's Jimmy's fault. When she gets bad, it's our fault. Because she ties up sometimes and does all that. But this is a good story for you guys. So we're at Lexington 2 years ago. 2 years ago, and Jimmy comes to me after the 5th race. She's in the 8th. He warmed her up. They took her to the piss stall, and she pissed blood. And I was having a bad day. I'm having a bad day, and Jimmy goes, I'm scratching her. I'm like, no, you're not. I said, no, we're racing. I'll post-braid her, and either she'll come out of her, or then I'll scratch her. So he goes, no, Tim, she's bad. We pushed her out of the stall to hook the bike on her. I went out and post-braided her. She couldn't walk. She's like, get through it. Finally, I said, I'm racing her. She went at 48. Good horses overcome.
Yeah.
They just overcome, and she's a great one. She's a great horse.
That's on par with the story. I'm not sure if you're familiar with this story. When Amigo Hall won the Hambletonian in 2003, I think it was. The favorite that year was Power to Charm for Smed's Hammer, and I forget who it was, but they said to my dad, "This horse is not going to do well." Power to Charm, except lost in this case. He didn't piss blood, but per the connections of this horse, he took a really stinky shit. It smelled like the horse was sick, and that they were saying to him, "This guy's gonna be no good," and they were right. So I guess this is just another bodily fluid story to add to my horse racing handicapping collection, just on the opposite side of the spectrum.
No. One thing I've learned, great horses overcome bad trainers, bad drivers. And when it's showtime, great horses overcome all the mistakes. And that's what they do. That's what I was getting at in my story with Jimmy. He's like, I'm scratching her. I'm like, no, you're not. She will overcome, and she did. She overcome, and she's a great horse.
And you weren't
totally agree.
You weren't even worried about the next week after that.
No, that's 2 weeks down the road. Great horses overcome, and they make bad trainers look good. They make bad drivers look great. So It's not a problem.
Case in point, Tim Tetrick.
Yeah.
I'm like a proven fact.
Tim, it's always a pleasure. Lots of great information you've given us in such a friendly way. Of course, we got all of the name calling and obscenities out of the way before the interview. We didn't want the vitriol to show on camera necessarily. Just
Exactly.
for everyone at home. What are you looking forward to most though on Hambletonian Day? Because I understand, like for everybody, it's. There's a different way they wake up. Maybe they put on a good pair of underwear. Like, what's the ritual in the Tetrick household?
For me, like I got to race Friday night. Last race won't go off till midnight, so then I got to be ready at 11 o'clock, whatever time it is. But for me, it's just I feel so privileged to get to race great horses in big dollar races. And I love that atmosphere. It's going to suck this year because we don't have all the fans there. And, for me, I just love to go compete. I want to race good horses. I want to be in that atmosphere where I love when it says $1 million. I love it because I want to go race for $1 million. And for me, it's just great.
And this is the only chance you'll get this year unless you can somehow squimmy your way into Canada later this month.
That don't look good, does it?
Right now, no. If you're staying.
I'm not going to go quarantine for 14 days. I would love to go race Canada. I think they do a great job, and they got great races. But for me, I ain't going. Not for 14 days doing nothing. Could you imagine me locked up in a hotel for 14 days?
Listen, you and I were going nuts for 3 days when we were in Florida, cooped up in the hotel, and that place was massive.
I can't do it. I can't even go walk around the pool area. No shot.
Yeah, if anybody's ever seen The Pianist with Adrian Brody, that's what would happen to Tim Tetrick.
Yeah.
You would just start losing weight, start becoming pale. I think I'm thinking of a different Adrian Brody movie. He loses weight for a lot of movies.
I don't know.
Yeah. Anyway, Tim, it's a pleasure. Good luck on Saturday. Thank you for giving us the time.
Anytime, guys. I appreciate having me on the show, and we'll talk soon, hopefully.
Sounds good, Timmy. Thanks.
Thank you.
See you, Rod. Take guys.
See you later.